good. So take your block, take it any direction, take your feet the width of the mat and turn the toes out, and then come down. You may not need the block, right? Or you might realize that you do. Yeah, and the block is really helpful. And even like, I don't need the block, but it actually feels really good right now to just, you know, put it there. Either way. Or you could just, you know, be slack, be lazy. And then just feel. So what I want you to focus on is like your posture, using the back of your elbows to press your inner thighs open. I like to turn the hands a little forward. Yeah, like palms a little forward. Perfect. And then just feel your spine growing long. Feel the base of your feet pressing into the ground. I notice sometimes like my weight rolls in, so you want to practice rolling your weight out. And if you're having difficulty like shutting down, just pick a spot to look at. And that spot may change like every breath or two. That's okay. It's interesting because like subtle movements like this, sometimes you feel a lot, sometimes it's just super easy and you feel nothing. Just breathe. And if it allows you to shut your eyes for the next few cycles of breath, try it on. Start to open the eyes. You're going to come up, take the block forward, walk the feet in so they're parallel to one another and they're almost the width of the mat. This is called a bear squat. Yeah, stick your butt way back. It's essentially like an amped up chair pose. It actually is better. To me, it feels better than chair. Chair is very painful. Yeah. So take the round just out of the spine. If you can, create a little up dog. There you go. And if you just sprinted long hill, maybe you're feeling your legs right now. Yeah, like me. Yeah, I just sprinted down long hill. I had a pee, so I was like just running. Yeah, my sister-in-law has been known to see me come into her garage. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I gotta pee. Breathe. Keep your legs, bring your arms up. Anjali Mudra, if you can, thumb crosses and index finger points. Stick your butt way back, weight in your heels. Arms back a little, chest up a little. Nice, yes. Shoot up to stand up, drag your hands to prayer, walk your feet together at the top of the mat. Separate your feet hips width distance, stand for a second. Yeah, awaken. Arm slide straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, set it up, just guide your left leg back. Just a nice low lunge. Drop the back knee on an angle, walk the right foot a little to the right. Keep the toes curled and make sure the knee's not grinding into the ground, won't feel good. Slide your arms up towards the sky. If this doesn't feel good on your lower back, you just pull out of it. Yeah, rather than sinking all the way down. Hands to frame your front foot, back knee lifts, you're in a low lunge. Just be on your fingertips and lead with your chest. Activate your back leg, scissor your right hip in. Yeah. Give yourself permission just to slow down this morning. So I think that's half our battle, is that we're moving 100 miles an hour, if not more. An opportunity to just pause. Spring your left foot forward, long spine, and pause on the extension. Stay with the extension. If the hands aren't quite making it to the ground, just bend your knees. Guide your right leg all the way back. Nice big step. Drop the knee on an angle. Make sure the knee's not grinding into the mat, and then sweep your arms up. And as you come up, if dumping your right thigh down to get the hip flexor stretch, it kind of tugs on the lower back. That's good, Reg. You just pull out of it and you're a little bit more straight up and down. Find one way that works. Hands to frame your front foot, pause, integrate the back right knee. You're in a low lunge. It's almost like you're gonna launch forward. You can be on your fingertips, soften the shoulders away from your ears, squeeze the muscles along the back right quadricep and thigh. Just be here for a few cycles of breath. Feel your left hip gripping. Simplicity of just holding something and feeling. Hands come down to frame your front foot if they're not already there. Step to a dog, step to a down dog. Take a few moments, maybe pedal out the legs, the right leg, the left leg. Plug through your thumb, your index finger, your baby finger. Spread your toes wide. And then just find some stillness. Yeah, find some stillness here in this down dog and feel. Yeah, breathe your hips way up off your shoulders this morning. Spread your toes wide. Backside of the body needs to really lengthen. Outer triceps grip in. Pit of the belly draws in and the side ribs go nice and long. So from down dog, you're gonna roll forward to a plank, okay? Stack your body up neatly. You're gonna drop your knees so they go behind you and lower your arms halfway at most to a supported push-up. Re-straighten your arms to a supported plank. Lift the knees so you're in a full plank, hold. Hips up and back, down dog. So we're gonna do that a few times just to build a little bit of momentum. So roll forward plank, not too fast, not too slow. Drop your knees down so they're on an angle behind you. Bend your elbows enough that you feel a shape of a push-up that works. Re-straighten so you're back in a supported plank. Lift the knees, pause and plank. Feel your body in a straight line zipped up. Hips up and back, down dog. Roll forward plank. Drop the knees one last time on an angle. Halfway at most to a push-up that works, that looks great. Re-straighten to a supported plank. Kneecaps lift so you're in a full plank position. Hips up and back, down dog. So it's like, that's like a really solid way to take a vinyasa if you want to take the back bend out. Look to the top of the mat. You can step to get there this morning. Long spine when you arrive. Hands can also rest on your shins. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. When the sun goes in, it feels good. Like it's definitely strong. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Look up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare. Step to plank. Halfway to your push-up. Up dog or baby cobra, you pick. Yeah, cobra may be better in your lower back. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Look where you want to go. You can step or hop your feet to the top of the mat. Long spine when you arrive. I can barely get that out. Exhale, folds, like tongue-tied. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Keep going like that. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine sets you up. Step or float through your vinyasa. The up dog is smooth or cobra is just fine for some of us. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Arms stay nice and straight. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Long spine prepares you. Exhale, folds you. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare. Step. If you feel like you want to float, that's fine, but float back light. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Arms stay nice and straight. Look where you want to land. Step or float to the top. Get there light. Long spine to arrive. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. One more. Arms slide up, go big. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips, set it up. Step or float through your variation that works. Upward facing pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing. Breathe your right leg up. So it's a three-legged down dog and pause. Flex the right foot really strong. Rip your left hip in and plug evenly through your hands so your outer triceps keep you even. Come forward, hug your right knee in towards your navel, scoop out your belly. Arms are straight up and down. Right leg presses up and back, three-legged down dog. So you're making some movement, but try not to make extra movement, if you know what I mean. Be really precise. Come forward, hug your right knee in, arm straight up and down, scoop out the belly. Good, one more, extend your right leg up and back, fan the right foot, flex it, strong. Come forward, hug the right knee in, scoop out the belly. Land your right foot forward and through, come to your fingertips, pause. Grip your right hip in. Arms slide back, and you hover for a sec. This is good because it kind of like makes you have to figure out, like, is my stance long enough? Is it wide enough? Check in, Steph, and make sure it's you could probably walk your right foot more towards Erica to feel a little more stable. Good. And then rise high lunge. And you may need to modify here. So if you need to bend your back knee a little, that's fine. But you're heavy in the front thigh regardless. Arms are straight up and down. Your dristi's looking at one spot. Your neck is neutral and you're just feeling. So you're gonna do the best work that you can because we're gonna press up into a tree, okay? And it may be a complete flop, but you may score. You may win with this. Let's see what happens. You're gonna press up. You can use your left hand to get your left leg up into that tree pose. And if you need to reset, you just reset and then grow your branches when you're ready. If you're ready, your hands can also be in a prayer. The trick with tree is to grip the hips under. So it's like warrior two, where you kind of hug under and then extend up out of your waist. Good. Keep the arms moving straight up. You're gonna glide it back to warrior one. Just do your best work, warrior one. Yeah, and you can tip forward a little with your torso if the lower back is sensitive. The goal is to get your back foot anchored to the ground, your left rib spinning forward. You got it, Reg. Walk your left foot a little more towards the table and you may find, yeah. Hands come down to frame your front foot, plank position. Halfway to a push-up. Up dog or cobra. Cobra's like this. Hands go back a little in cobra. Yeah, there you go. Hips up and back, down dog. Left leg lifts on the inhale breath, only hip height, pause. You want to stay even and grounded. Come forward, perfect. Hug your left knee in, scoop out your belly. Arms are straight up and down. Left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Make it kind of precise and accurate. Come forward, hug the knee in, scoop out your belly, point your left toes. Left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. One more, precise, accurate movements. Hug the left knee in, scoop out the belly. Land your left foot forward and through. Maybe walk the left foot a little to the left. You're gonna start schmelting in a minute, as I like to call. Be on your fingertips. Reach your arms back alongside your body, hold and hover. Rise high lunge. Iron it out here. Yeah, you're heavy in that standing leg. The arms are moving straight up and down. Breathe. So maybe using your right hand to do it, you're going to glide up into a tree. So you can press up, grab the ankle, slide the foot anywhere up with the left leg, and then regrow your branches if and when you're ready. Grip the hips in strong. Stay with it. Keep the arms moving up. You're going to glide back, warrior one. Just see if you can step, warrior one. It may not work great. Back foot at about a 70-degree angle, and your right ribs pivot forward enough that you can begin to feel. There you go. Hands to the floor through a vinyasa or opt out. Just go to a down dog. What do you think of her new album? I think it's very good. Florence. Yeah. Yeah, it's her new album. There's a lot of new music out, I have to say, yeah. Me too. Look where you want to go, step or float to the top. Long spine arrive. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. Most resistance in chair ever. Weight in your heels. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. All right, let's get it going here. Arms slide up. Sit deep chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine sets it up, step or float through your vinyasa. So just make this work. The push-ups, the up dogs, it's all, take or leave it, take it out or leave it in. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Back down we go. So you're moving slow enough that you really feel what you're doing, but you're not going back to sleep. Down dog. Left foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Back down we go. Some variation of a vinyasa. Press your hands on the tops of the feet, hips up and back, down dog. And then you pause in this down dog and you breathe. Think about the center of your heel and melting it down. Look where you want to go, step or float, top of mat. Long spine, keep that weight forward. Exhale, fold. Sit heavy in your heels, chair. Press up to stand up, drag it to prayer, drop your arms. Arms slide up, chair. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare, step or float, vinyasa. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Good, hands back down. Alignment looks really good for all of you. Up dog, hips up and back, down dog. Left foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Back down we go, through your vinyasa. Upward facing, hips up and back, downward facing. Look where you want to go, step or float, top of mat, get there light. Long spine, keep your weight forward. Exhale, fold. So to get into a chair, weight moves into your heels. Shoot up to stand up, drag it to prayer, drop your arms. Good news, just one more. Chair, go big. I'm thrilled when I'm done with this part. I'm like, yes, we can move on. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine sets you up, step or float through your vinyasa. Make it light. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Come on up. Back down we go through your vinyasa. Up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot lands, back foot turns. Keep it moving. Warrior one. Back down we go. Upward facing, hips up and back, downward facing. Come forward to plank, drop down to your knees and come into a tabletop. So come into a little tabletop position. Have your hands a little directly underneath your shoulders. Curl your right toes into the mat and float your right leg up towards the sky. Yeah. So keeping your pelvis super neutral, your right thigh pivots down towards the ground in a strong flex of your foot. You're gonna toe tap here. So you're gonna bring your big toe to touch the ground. You're gonna do it really slow. And you're gonna pulse it back up, squeezing the muscles of the glute, the quadriceps. So it's like isometric work. You're gonna tap the toe and then slowly bring it back up, squeeze the glute. Do it again, tap the toe, squeeze it back up. 2 more times. Tap the big toe, squeeze it back up. Yeah, tap the big toe, squeeze it back up, and then extend your left arm forward. So your right leg and your left arm opposite directions. Good, and you're gonna squeeze your elbow to your knee, like kind of come across and hug in like a little ball, and then release it out. So you're gonna do this 5 times. Hug it in, slow. The slower you move, the more you'll feel, and extend it out. So you're moving at your breath, your pace, hug it in. and extend it out. 2 more, at least that's my count. Hug it in and extend it out. 1 more, hug it in and extend it out. Keep the lift of everything, the lift of the right leg, left hand comes, right leg doesn't drop, okay? Curl the left toes if they're not curled and lift up to that 3-legged down dog. The right leg is in space, the left heel is mounting down. Come forward and hug the right knee in towards the navel, pause, scoop out your belly. Land your right foot forward and through. Turn your back foot on a strong angle, rise, warrior 1. Drop your arms by your side body, clasp your hands. Inhale your breath, eyes of the shoulders open. Exhale, you fold, humble warrior. 2 ways to take humble. Stomach can rest on your thigh, or you can snuggle your right shoulder in. You just want to make sure you're not opening your hips. So your hips pivot towards the front skinny edge of the mat. They stay in a warrior 1 stance. So Reg, see if you can get your back foot. See how my back foot is like this? Yeah, try that. Use and then fold. Perfect. So you want to think about the pivot of that left thigh moving forward as the whole torso kind of spins towards the front skinny edge of the mat. Stay with it. Grip your right hip in super strong. Press strong to the blade of your back foot and then pull your torso up. Okay, sweep your arms up towards the sky. Straighten your right leg on track. Creep your right foot forward and turn your back foot. You're going to open up and set up for triangle. So just widen your stance and make sure you're heel to arch with your legs. And then pivot Trikonasana. Right hand pulls up on the front of the right shin, or you can use a block. Left arm slides up towards the sky. Your hand can always be on your hip. There's a feeling like you're leaning back a little bit. Yeah, but you don't want to feel like you're dumping into your low back. So let's focus on our obliques. That's our side core ribs working, our abdominal wall. And if you want to check to see if you're using your core muscles, reach your right arm forward towards me, towards the front skinny edge. Not your left arm, your right arm. Keep your left arm up and your right arm forward. There you go. Turn your palm up. You may need to pull out of the pose to hold it. If you feel it too much in your lower back, it's not for you. Don't do it. Keep the left arm up. Just bring your right hand back down. So you're going to look down. You're going to slide up into Ardha Chandrasana half moon. I always use a block with this. I place it on its highest setting, but it's up to you how you want to take. Block a little off to the right. Yeah, underneath that shoulder. And then your left hand can just be alongside your body. It can be on your hip, or you can broaden open. Grow this pose how you feel. Maybe it's working on breath, working on balance, working on binding. Anything goes. Sometimes it's just its basic form. That looks good. Grip the right hip under. Lift from your inner left thigh. If you are taking the bind, the kick goes behind you, so you stay in that full back bend. And then breathe your collarbone and your chest open. Regular half moon if you added anything fun. Eyes go to the floor, left hand comes down, square it off first. Land the feet together, or I separate my feet for chair. Sit deep into your chair. Stick your butt way back. Slide your hands to prayer. Inhale your breath, hook the elbow, take it to the right. So if lower back is sensitive, you don't feel like going in and cranking this pose, take a little less. Maybe just the air twist. Two knees lining up. That's coming from the weight of your heels staying nice and even. The hips moving back, the spine staying nice and long. Looking sideways, looking up, maybe opening up your arms if you have that motion. Keeping the breath flowing though. Watch that the left hip doesn't pull in front of the right. Nice, even, smooth movement. Stay with it, 2 more. Chair pose, pull it around. Really commit to this chair, sit really deep. And then lower, 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 all the way up to Boat Navasana. The hands can come to the ground if you feel like you need a little extra support this morning. Fingertips can tent, palms can go flat. You can grab the backs of your thighs, anything goes. Legs can be bent. Yeah, because think about the stomach close to the front of your thighs, and then maybe your arms reach forward or they can reach up. Anything goes. The goal is to be out of the lower back, deep into the core muscles. Yeah. Ardha Navasana, that's a hovering boat. So any version of this where your shoulders are lifted, your neck stays long. Legs can be even up at a 90-degree angle. Scoop out your lower back. Spread it against the mat. Navasana, pull it up, not always the prettiest look. It's okay. Cross the ankle, step, float, flop, crawl, however you want to get there through your vinyasa. Sometimes the up dog feels good or the back bend. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Roll forward plank, drop your knees down, tabletop position. Walk your hands in a little closer and a little narrower. Curl the left toes into the mat, pause by just having the left toes, kind of like a half plank. Float the left leg up so it's hip height. Keeping your hands and your hips very even. You're gonna toe tap slow. So you're gonna bring the toe down to touch the ground. And then from in the inner thigh and the glute, you're gonna lift it back up only hip height. So a few times, tap the toe, do it slow. Use the core muscles, pull it back up. Keep going like that. Tap it, bring it back up. Tap it. Keep the arms nice and straight, bring it back up. 2 more, tap. Breathe it back up. 1 more, tap it up. Hold on the up. Good, reach the right arm forward, pause. So the right arm and the left leg pulling in opposite directions. And then the elbow kind of brings itself into the knee and you curl yourself up in a ball. Extend, open it up, and then ball it in. So do this a few times. Open it up, and then ball it in. Yeah, keep the arm straight. Open it up. You got it. Everyone's gonna move a little different. Some of us may do 2 really, really slow. Others of us may do 10. Open it up, do 2 more. Ball it in. 1 more, open it up. Ball it in. And then on the next open, keep the left leg lifted, bring the right hand down, curl the right toes and lift the hips up to a 3-legged down dog. Your left leg is in space. Your right heel is melting down. Your right hip is gripping in. Come forward, hug the left knee in towards the navel. And then land your left foot forward and through. Turn your back foot on a strong angle and rise warrior 1. Starting to sweat. Any of you starting to sweat? Yeah. There's a lot of humidity in the air. So drop your arms down by your side body. Interlace your hands opposite grip. Inhale the breath, eyes of the shoulders open. Before you go, you kind of want to steer your right ribs forward and then fold. I take humble with my stomach on my thigh. I just find that I'm a little bit more even, but some of you are a little more mobile and you can get your left shoulder to snuggle to the inside of that left leg. You pick. Right foot presses firm, left hip grips in, and you just find something you know you can hold for a bunch of breaths. Stay with it. The left hip likes to pop out, so grip it under and keep spinning your right thigh forward. Strong through your legs and your hips, pull your torso up. Unravel the arms towards the sky, traditional warrior 1. Straighten the left leg on track, rearrange the feet and open it up. So your arms go nice and open and your legs open for Trikonasana. Set it up, you may need to soften behind the left knee and then pivot. Left hand anywhere along the left shin or maybe using a block, right arm spreads up towards the sky. Stack it up neatly. Feel like you're pulling up on the pant leggings. There you go. Collarbone spreads wide. Feel the feet. And then if you want to kind of test, like, are you dumping down? The left arm can stretch forward with the palm facing up. So it's kind of like making a backwards L. Keep spinning the left ribs. Left palm comes back down. Right hand can come to your hip, look down and float up into your Ardha, half moon. Use your block. Yeah, You got it, Andrea. Use a block, like off the edge of the left baby toe enough over to the left. Right hand can come to your hip if you're not feeling the balance today, or you can stack it open. Lift from your inner right thigh, and then add in whatever you feel you need or subtract what you don't need, right? That's okay too. Stack it up nicely, spread the collarbone, great stuff. The kick goes behind you for the back bend. Stay with it, a few more. Grip the left hip under, keep the left foot forward, find Tadasana on that standing leg. You got it, Erica, looks good. Release any binds if you added anything in. Look to the floor, right hand comes down, square it off, land the feet together, or I like separating them hips width, and sit into your chair. Yeah, slide the hands to prayer, inhale the breath, hook the elbow, take it to the left. So the biggest thing with the chair twist is making sure that the right knee doesn't slide past the left. Keep breathing, spine stays long. Look sideways or look up. When we look back, we have a tendency to round. Sit a little deeper. Chair pose, pull it around. Strong in your legs and chair. Really sit, really sit, really sit. This time, just dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Good work. Come to the fingertips, set it up, step or float through your vinyasa. Up dog pulls you through, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot smack in between your hands, turn your back foot strong, grab a block, place it to the instep of your foot, place the right hand down. This is a good time to knuckle that hand. You kind of lean back into that right leg, open the hip, and then slide the left arm up. You got it. I started knuckling the hand when I had the whole neck thing, and I just continued because I find that it creates a little extra space in the heart, the chest. I don't know what happened to my playlist. This isn't it. Maybe add a half bind, or your hand can just slide to your hip. I don't know how you feel, so you can play with it a little. Great. And then kind of twist open, gripping your right hip underneath, turning the ribs towards the ceiling or sky. So we're outside, we got a bathroom yogi and we got a kitchen yogi. So turn it towards the ceiling and breathe. Unravel the left arm and use the strength of it to pull you up to warrior two. Iron it out right here, warrior two. So wrap your inner thigh open towards your little baby toe and even out your chest and your torso. So make sure there's no twist. Yeah. Lengthen your tailbone like we did in the squat pose early in the practice. And hold here. Close your eyes. Sit a little deeper. Stay with it. Keep the shape of your legs. Reach out, place your right hand to the outside of your foot. Just 6 breaths here. Use a block. You could place it up high. If this really doesn't feel good in your body today, your arm can rest on the top of your thigh, but try and wrap your left arm up and forward. Yeah. Turn the bottom ribs and look up. So we went from B to A. This is the A variation. 3 more breaths. Stay with it. Grip the left hip in. You kind of have to hook it under. Looks really good, guys. Eyes go to the floor, hands come down. We're going to a Vashisthasana on the left side. You can either go regular traditional Vashisthasana, add in a tree, or I'm going to show a modified version where I stack myself up. So my left hand is down. I'm in a variation of Vashisthasana. I'm showing it with the left knee down. And you can add in a tree if you want, or you can bend your top leg and grab the ankle if you're in the version like that I'm showing with the knee down. Nice stuff. Lift from your bottom hip through your top hip and look up. Let it go to a plank and pause. Plank position. Halfway to a push-up, do it slow. Pull yourself through a smooth operation of a back bend. Good, hips up and back, down dog. The left foot steps, the back foot turns. Don't come up though, just grab your block. Place it to the instep of your foot. Secure, the palm down, the back foot turns, and you open to your B from the ground up. Make sure the stance is long enough. You're gonna get into the hip. I go a little bigger, Jess, a little wider with your feet. And then you could really get into that thigh. Perfect, lean back. Grip and hook that left hip under, turn the bottom ribs towards the ceiling of sky. Right hand can just come to your hip. This feels nice. Or you can slide it all the way around and go into the half bind. There's kind of a twist of the chest. So you can open that shoulder towards the ceiling. Yeah. Reggie, that's great alignment because the shoulders are in their proper alignment and that's giving you your back bend. Crown of the head keeps moving forward. Hook that hip underneath and twist. Stay with it. Unravel the right arm towards the sky and let that pull you up, warrior two. Iron out the stance, get heavy in the legs, lengthen the tailbone, open it up. Wrap your inner thigh open, close your eyes and just settle in. 5-6 breaths, that's it. That's all it takes to just like kind of find your center here. Strong connection to you. Keep the shape of the legs, reach out, take the block to the outside of the foot, any direction with the block or your arm on the top of the thigh, grip the hip under. Top arm can go straight up or you can wrap it up and forward. Hand to hip is also always an option. Keep bending into that leg. This is where you're really getting that strong hip opening. Yeah. Soften the shoulder away from your ear, your bottom shoulder. 3 more. Eyes go to the floor, hands come down. Right hand's gonna be the hand that's down into your variation of a side plank. You can stagger the feet, you can stack the feet. I really am always into this knee down and then lifting and taking the little bind. Any variation of a side plank. Yeah, some of us like to drop to our forearms. It just feels more stable. Some of us like the leg lifts. Anything goes. Just find something you know you can hold for a few more breaths. From your bottom hip to your top hip, you lift. And your bottom arm is really secure. Plank position. While we're in plank, drop to your forearms for a forearm plank. Karate chop the mat or interlace your hands. You can always do this with this knees down. Like we did last week, rock the weight all the way forward onto your tippy toes. Let the crown of the head come over the fisted hands. And then rock it back, but don't let the hips lift. Rock it all the way forward. Bless you. Rock it back. Like this a few more times. Rock it forward, nice and slow. Rock it back. 1 more, bring it forward. And then bring it back. Find neutral, palm to the mat, plank position. Hips up and back, down dog, great work. Right foot lands, crescent lunge. So now we're warmed up. Like it's a whole other ball game. We could just move our bodies so much more freely now. Yeah. Crescent lunge, maybe. It's questionable at times. Okay, so you're gonna press up into that tree like we did early in the practice and see if we've got any better balance, okay? So use your hand to do it. And then regrow your branches if you can. Grip the hips under. You got it, Andrea. Yeah, just like restart sometimes. Sometimes you just need to stand up and restart. You can look up a little. Yeah. So keep the arms moving up. Just let the foot float away from the inner thigh like 2 inches. And let the toes point towards the ground as you do it. So you're really feeling your hips activating. Then cross the ankle over the thigh, flex the foot, and sit pretty boldly into this chair. And start to lean all the way out in front of you. And then you're gonna reach for that block. Most of us need it. Flex the foot strong around the outside of that right tricep. Get heavy in that standing right heel. Steer the hips back, but don't collapse the chest. Keep the heart nice and open. Yes. This is where if you had an arm balance, you would go. But honestly, just being here is giving us so much more, opening up these hips. Breathe. So to get out of the pose, we're going to do it super slow. Pull yourself up, hands to your hips, hug the left knee up without using your hand. So it looks like this. Drop your arms and slide back to warrior 3. Do this slow. You can use the block if you need. Warrior 3. If your balance gets a little off, you just use the block. Flex the foot. Arms are reaching back. Bend a little into that standing leg. Eyes meet the floor. Left hand comes down to that block. Right hand comes to the flat part of your back. Good. Keep the hand on the flat part of your back. Pause. Lift from your inner thigh. So keeping that lift for a second, lift from your inner thigh an inch higher. Hold. And then you're going to toe tap. You're going to lower that big toe to touch the ground. And you're going to lift it up hip height. You're going to do this again. You're going to lower the big toe, tap it, squeeze the right hip in, lift it back up. It's tough. One more. Tap the big toe, breathe it back up, and then if you can, you'll open the right arm up for the last few breaths into the full variation of revolved Ardha, or just keep your hand down. You got it, you got it. Eyes meet the floor, right hand comes down, giant step back to a low lunge, drop the back knee like we started the practice, and reach your arms up, just pause. Like, it's funny because it's the same poses, but you just add in a little something special and it's spicy. Hands to prayer, inhale the breath, hook the elbow, and take the twist. You might opt to just keep the knee down this morning. This is a good place to be. If you want to lift the kneecap up off the ground and work into a full variation of crescent with a twist, go for it now. Lean back a little, get the crown of the head to line up. Open up your arms if you want more. Hug your right hip in strong. Yeah, you can always go easy twist too. Hand to the instep using a block. Nice work. Last couple. Hands to the floor. Take a vinyasa or meet me in a down dog. You pick. Left foot lands, crescent lunge. Press up to tree. Use your right hand to do it. And then grow your branches. Grip the hips in. And then just play here a little, or find stability more importantly. Maybe start to bring your dristi up a little. So something happens when you hold, there's a shift. Keep the arms moving up, the ribs moving up. Float the foot like 2 inches. So it's not a big movement. It's almost like candle wax dripping down your leg. Yeah. And then cross the ankle and continue to sit into chair. Start to lean out, lean out, lean out, lean out. I definitely use a block here. Place it down. And then the goal is to flex your foot strong around the outside of that tricep. That's how you're going to eventually hook to get into the flying version. Steer your hips back. This is great. I mean, if you did nothing else but do this pose today, it's a win-win. Try to keep your chest nice and open so you're not dumping everything down. You got it. One side's always better than the other. Coming out nice and slow, hands to your hips. Try not to let your right foot touch. Float it up so it's a 90-degree angle. Drop your arms and then float it back, warrior three. Use your block if your balance gets a little even. Yep. Lift from your inner thigh, hands come to prayer. Reach for your block underneath your right shoulder, hand area, and just bring your left hand to the flat part of your hip. Yeah, the flat part of your back. Lift from your inner right thigh, look a little sideways, and you're just gonna tap your big toe down, and then you're gonna lift it back up hip height, squeezing the outer hips. Try it again, tap the big toe, do it slow, lift it up so it's hip height. Do it one more time. Tap the big toe, lift it up that so it's hip height. Pause here, and then maybe open it up for the full version of revolved Arda. Grip the hips in, hand can stay on the flat part of your back or the top arm rinses open. Nice long spine, keep lifting from your inner thigh as you open it up. Left hand down, giant step back, low lunge, drop the knee so it's on an angle and sweep your arms up. Hands come to prayer, lean out, hook the elbow and twist. So you can take this with the knee down. This is great. Or you can play with engaging the back knee and lifting it up. Either way works great. I don't know how you feel. Sometimes having the knee down to start actually makes the pose a little bit more doable. Lean back a little bit, open up the arms if you have it. Grip the left hip under. Ride out the exhale as you twist, a little bigger, a little bolder, right here. Hands to the floor, through vinyasa. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing. Let's land the right knee forward, half pigeon, because we've done a bunch of hip opening, and I think this one's just gonna feel really nice. And then fold. You're almost there. Give yourself permission to dive in a little deeper and breathe a little fuller into the hip and the left hip flexor. Down dog, left side. Just feed the left leg forward, half pigeon. And then fold. Go a little deeper. Why not? Use the strength of your body, start to come up, lean onto the left side, swing the right leg forward, bend both your knees like this, feet go flat, fingers are gonna face you. We're gonna go to reverse tabletop. You're gonna lift yourself up. So my neck is sensitive, so I just keep my neck neutral to my body. You can drop your head back if it feels okay for you, but lengthen from the tailbone to the backs of the knees and lift yourself up, press down. Exhale the breath, just lower, take a breath in. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna add the ankle to knee in, okay? So you're gonna lift up, pull yourself up, and then cross the right ankle over the left thigh, flex the foot. Yeah, and just, you lift as much as you can. Lower the foot down and then lower down. Exhale the breath. Yeah, pull yourself up, one more. And then cross the left ankle over the right thigh and let the thigh just drop open as much as it can. Yeah, and when you lift from the tailbone to the back of that right knee. So it's not a saggy state of affairs. Yeah, lift up a little higher. Lower the foot down first and then exhale the breath, lower down. When you hit the floor, lay back onto your back, like all the way down onto your back. Bring your block with you. Walk your feet in. If you're dying for full wheel, this is where you would do it. Most of us benefit from just going to more of a restorative back bend. So lift your hips up, slide the block underneath your lower back, any direction that works for you. It could be medium. It doesn't need to be the super highest direction. Clasp your hands and take bridge like this for a second. And then if you want to elevate your legs and create a little bit more of a flushing out, both legs will go straight up towards the sky. If you're dying for a full wheel, now would be the time to poke with this. Nice, Steph, turn the feet forward. Yeah, and then lower down. And then you could meet us. Lower the legs down, bend the knees in half, take the feet flat to the floor, remove any objects out from underneath you, and just take your feet the width of the mat and let your knees knock in. Yeah. And then let's drop the knees over to the right, like a windshield washer, and then lift your right foot up and get it on somewhere onto the top of that left thigh, like the IT band. You could cactus the arms or bring the hands behind the head. Get the shoulder blades to melt and use the pressure of that right foot to press that left thigh down. And that's going to give you a little twist, a little hip opener, a little IT band stretch. Come up to center, relax the right foot, have the feet wide, lift the hips to the right a little, drop the knees to the left, and then take your left foot on top of that right thigh somewhere. And the pressure of that's going to kind of push it down. Release, let the foot slide off. Come up and grab the knees and grab the sides of the feet. Let's take happy baby. Pull the knees down around the ribs. Broaden the shoulder blades, the collarbone, lengthen the tailbone. Hug the knees in and squeeze yourself into a tight little ball. Get your eyeballs in towards your knees and flex your feet. And then reach your arms forward like a cannonball and lift the shoulders, draw the center line in. And then as you release, you're gonna hover everything from the ground. Arms back is gonna be the most intense. Hands can also be behind your head. Flex your feet and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. As you hit the floor, set up now for Shavasana, complete rest. This is where we benefit the most. Complete rest right now. Let everything just go. Start to come back, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. You can give yourself a nice big full body stretch. You can knock stuff over. Yeah, you can hug your neighbor, squeeze your knees in towards your chest, give them a big squeeze in. And then you'll rock up however you feel good for you today and sit up nice and tall and just feel the effects of this practice. That went really fast. I don't know what it was about it, but it kind of just blew by. So hopefully the rest of the day is like this. Let the shoulders drop down the back. Yeah, the next 20 days. Bring the hands to prayer, bow your head for a second. Always have gratitude for making this time for yourself. So good. Lift the head, open the eyes. Namaste. Mission accomplished. We'll go again Friday this week, and then the rest will be kind of up in the air till we get these kids off for camp.